date is August 1st, 1969. In 3 separate newsrooms across San Francisco, 3 envelopes arrive, almost simultaneously. Same postmark, same handwriting, same demand.
Each envelope contains a letter and 1/3 of a coded message. The writer claims he is a murderer. He says the code contains his identity. He orders each newspaper to print their piece on the front page, or he will kill a dozen people that weekend.
He signs the letter with a symbol, a circle, divided by a cross, like the crosshairs of a gun. He does not give his name. He calls himself the Zodiac. Over the next 5 years, this single unidentified figure sends more than 20 taunting letters to newspapers, police departments, and lawyers. He claims 37 murders. He mails pieces of a dead man's shirt. He threatens to blow up school buses full of children. And he encodes his messages in ciphers so complex, one of them won't be cracked for 51 years. And then he simply stops. No arrest, no confession, no name. The Zodiac Killer is the most famous unidentified serial murderer in American history. This is everything we know. December 20th, 1968, Lake Herman Road. A desolate stretch of tarmac on the outskirts of Vallejo, California, 40 miles northeast of San Francisco. The road runs through flat, dark farmland. At night, almost no one uses it. Almost. 17-year-old David Faraday is an Eagle Scout, an honor student, a wrestler. Tonight, he has taken his girlfriend, 16-year-old Betty Lou Jensen, to a graveled turnout locals know as a lover's lane. They park. They talk. The night is quiet. Just before 11 p.m., a car pulls up alongside them. What happens next takes only seconds. David is shot once in the head at point-blank range. Betty runs. She makes it approximately 30 feet before she is shot 5 times in the back. Both teenagers die within minutes of each other. When a passing motorist discovers the scene, she finds David still alive, slumped over the seat of his station wagon. He dies on the way to the hospital. There is no robbery, no sign of sexual assault, no witnesses, no motive that investigators can identify. Police are baffled. The case is logged. It sits cold through Christmas, through New Year's, through the long gray months of early 1969. Nobody connects it to anything yet. Nobody knows this is the beginning. But 6 months later, 4 miles away, it happens again. It is just after midnight on the 5th of July, 1969. The 4th of July celebrations have barely ended. Darlene Farron, 22 years old, and her boyfriend, Mageau, 19, are sitting in a parked car in the lot of Blue Rock Springs Park in Vallejo. A car pulls up. A man with a flashlight approaches. He opens fire. Darlene Farron is hit multiple times. She dies at Kaiser Foundation Hospital less than an hour later. Michael Mageau is hit in the neck, the face, the chest. Somehow, he survives. He will later describe the attacker. Heavyset, short brown hair, around 5'8", and then something unprecedented happens. Less than an hour after the shooting, a phone rings at the Vallejo Police Department. A man's voice says, "I want to report a murder." He gives the location. Both locations, tonight's attack and Lake Herman Road from 6 months ago. Then he hangs up. The call is recorded. The voice is calm, almost bored. The Zodiac has just introduced himself. On August 1st, 1969, the same day those 3 envelopes land in 3 newsrooms, the Zodiac era officially begins. The letters are nearly identical. Each one claims credit for the Lake Herman Road and Blue Rock Springs murders, proving it by describing crime scene details known only to police. What the victims were wearing, how their bodies were positioned, the brand of ammunition used. Each letter contains 1/3 of a 408-symbol cryptogram. Together, the 3 pieces form a single coded message. The Zodiac writes, In this cipher is my identity. The FBI receives the cipher. So does the CIA. Professional cryptanalysts study it. They cannot crack it. Then, on August 5th, just 4 days after publication, a married couple in Salinas, California, solve it. Donald and Betty Harden are school teachers, not cryptographers, not law enforcement. Betty Harden makes a single inspired guess. A killer like this would begin his message with the word I, and he would use the word kill. She is right. That wedge is enough. The decoded message is chilling. It speaks of killing as sport, more thrilling than hunting animals, because man is the most dangerous game of all. It describes collecting victims as slaves for his afterlife. And it closes with a string of 18 letters that appears to mean nothing, unless it contains his real name scrambled. It doesn't. No name emerges. The Zodiac was right on that count. The cipher reveals his mind, not his identity. 4 days later, a fourth letter arrives at the San Francisco Examiner. This one begins with a sentence that will define the case forever. Dear Editor, this is the Zodiac speaking. It is the first time he uses the name. From this moment forward, the name is everywhere. On front pages, in police briefings, in the nightmares of an entire region. The Zodiac has a name now. September 27th, 1969, Lake Berryessa, Napa County. Brian Hartnell, 20 years old, and Cecilia Shepard, 22, are spending the afternoon at the lakeside. The weather is warm. The water is still. They spread a blanket on the grass and talk. A figure emerges from the trees. He is wearing a hood, black fabric covering his entire head and shoulders, with a white circle and cross stitched onto the chest. He carries a length of rope and a long knife. He approaches the couple, speaking calmly. He tells them he is an escaped convict from Montana. He says he needs their car and their money. He asks Brian to tie Cecilia's hands. Then he ties Brian's. Then he produces the knife. He stabs Brian Hartnell 8 times in the back. He stabs Cecilia Shepard 10 times, front and back. He walks away. He does not run. Brian Hartnell is found alive. He will survive. Cecilia Shepard is found alive too, but she is in critical condition. She dies 2 days later at Queen of the Valley Hospital on September 29th. When police arrive at Lake Berryessa, they find something extraordinary. On the door of Brian Hartnell's white Volkswagen Carmen Ghia, the Zodiac has written in black marker ink the date of the Lake Herman road attack, the date of the Blue Rock Springs attack, and today's date. Below the dates, he has written one word: by knife. He is keeping score, and he wants the police to know it. That same evening, a payphone rings at the Napa County Sheriff's Department. A man's voice gives the location of the attack. He leaves the phone hanging. The call is traced to a phone booth in downtown Napa. Police find a partial palm print on the receiver. It does not match any suspect on file. The Zodiac has struck in a new county. He is expanding his territory and his audience. October 11th, 1969, San Francisco. Paul Stine is 29 years old. To pay his bills, he drives a taxi for Yellow Cab. Tonight, he picks up a fare near Union Square. The passenger asks to be taken to Washington and Maple Streets, a quiet intersection in the upscale Presidio Heights neighborhood. When the cab stops, something changes. Instead of paying and leaving, the passenger shoots Paul Stine once in the head. He then does something deliberate and methodical. He tears a piece of fabric from Stine's shirt. He wipes down the interior of the cab to remove fingerprints. Then he walks away, north, into the Presidio Park. 3 teenagers watching from a nearby window see the attacker clearly. They call police. A patrol car responds, and 2 officers pass a heavy-set man matching the description, walking calmly on the street. But a dispatcher error has described the suspect as black. The officers, looking for someone else, do not stop him. The Zodiac walks away into the dark. Paul Stine is found dead in his cab. He is the 5th and final confirmed Zodiac murder victim. Also the first killed in the city of San Francisco itself, and the last. Weeks later, a letter arrives at the San Francisco Chronicle. Inside, a swatch of Paul Stine's blood-soaked shirt, a trophy, a message, and a threat. If the police don't stop interfering, the Zodiac writes, he will begin killing school children. He will attack a school bus. The entire Bay Area holds its breath. What makes the Zodiac case unlike almost any other in American criminal history is not simply the murders. It is the performance. Between 1969 and 1974, the Zodiac sends more than 20 letters to newspapers, police departments, a San Francisco attorney named Melvin Belli, and individual journalists. The letters contain crime scene details only the killer could know. They contain threats, bombings, more murders, attacks on children. They contain pieces of physical evidence, including sections of Paul Stine's shirt, sent in installments across multiple letters. By 1974, in his last confirmed letter, he claims 37 victims. Investigators have confirmed 5 deaths. One letter arrives around Halloween 1969, addressed to Paul Avery, a journalist at the San Francisco Chronicle who has been covering the case aggressively. The card is a Halloween greetings card. Inside, the Zodiac has written, "Peekaboo, you are doomed." Avery is shaken. He begins carrying a gun. Robert Graysmith, a cartoonist at the same newspaper, watches all of this from his desk. He becomes consumed by the case. He starts collecting documents, cross-referencing facts, building timelines. He is not an investigator. He is not a detective. But over the next 17 years, he will compile what becomes the most influential civilian investigation of the Zodiac case ever assembled. And eventually, he will point the finger at one man. And then, in November 1969, a new cipher arrives. 340 symbols, complex, layered, seemingly impenetrable. The Zodiac calls it his identity. Investigators call it their best chance. It will sit unsolved for 51 years. On November 8th, 1969, a card arrives at the San Francisco Chronicle. Inside is a 340-character cryptogram. The Zodiac demands it be printed on the front page. The FBI receives a copy. So does the CIA. Professional cryptanalysts study it. They cannot solve it. Amateur codebreakers attempt it for decades. Academics publish papers. Computers are applied. Nothing works. The cipher is ranked by one cryptologist as the second most complex unsolved code in history, behind only the Voynich manuscript, a 600-year-old mystery no one has fully decoded. The Z340 sits, year after year, decade after decade. Then, in 2020, something extraordinary happens. 3 private citizens, not professional cryptographers, not law enforcement, crack it. David Oranchak is a software developer in Virginia. Sam Blake is an applied mathematician at the University of Melbourne in Australia. Jarl van Eyck is a warehouse operator and programmer in Belgium. They develop a specialized decryption program called AZ Decrypt, capable of testing up to 200 possible cipher solutions per second. They run it through 650,000 candidate solutions. On December 5th, 2020, AZ Decrypt produces a result. The 3 men stare at the output. It is a message. I hope you are having lots of fun in trying to catch me. The cipher continues. The Zodiac denies being a caller on a San Francisco television show. He says he is not afraid of the gas chamber because dying will only send him sooner to the paradise where his slave victims are waiting. The message contains no name, no location. The FBI confirms the decryption. The world's hardest active cipher has been broken, 51 years too late to matter. 2 of the Zodiac's 4 ciphers remain unsolved to this day. The 12-character Z13, which the Zodiac prefaced with the words, "My name is," has never been cracked. If his name is in there, it is still locked away. And so investigators were left exactly where they had started. No name, no face. Behind every cold case is a person who cannot let it go. For the Zodiac case, that person is Detective Dave Toschi of the San Francisco Police Department. Toschi becomes the lead investigator. He is meticulous, driven, quietly obsessed. He chases leads across the state for years. He interviews hundreds of witnesses. He works the case through the 1970s into the 1980s, long after most of his colleagues have moved on. He never solves it. Then there is Robert Graysmith. The Chronicle cartoonist spends 17 years building a private investigation. In 1986, he publishes a book called Zodiac. It becomes the defining account of the case. It also points squarely at one man, the same man certain police investigators have quietly suspected for years. His name is Arthur Leigh Allen, and the case against him is, on the surface, staggering. And yet, Arthur Leigh Allen is born in 1933 in Honolulu, Hawaii. He grows up in Vallejo, California, the same city where the Zodiac's first 2 attacks occur. He serves in the U.S. Navy. He becomes an elementary school teacher. He is also a convicted child molester. The tip that first brings Allen to police attention comes from a friend named Don Cheney. Before the murders, Cheney says Allen told him he wanted to kill couples, random couples, using a gun with a flashlight attached to the barrel. He said he would taunt police with letters. He said he would sign them with the crosshair symbol from his watch. He said he wanted to call himself the Zodiac. What investigators find is disturbing. Allen owns a Zodiac brand watch, a logo nearly identical to the killer's crosshair symbol. His shoe size is 10.5, matching prints found at Lake Berryessa. His favorite book is The Most Dangerous Game, a story about hunting humans, echoed directly in the decoded Z408. He owned a Royal typewriter with Elite typeface, the same brand linked to letters after a 1966 murder in Riverside. When Allen is imprisoned in 1974, the Zodiac letters stop. When he is released in 1977, a possible new letter surfaces in 1978. In 1991, a search warrant is executed on Allen's residence. Police find bizarre contents, but none of the specific evidence they are looking for. That same year, surviving victim Michael Mageau identifies Allen from a police photo lineup. He points at the photograph and says, "That's him. That's the man who shot me." The case seems, for a moment, on the verge of resolution. Then, the forensic results come back. DNA extracted from envelope stamps from confirmed Zodiac letters does not match Arthur Leigh Allen. His fingerprints do not match those lifted from Paul Stine's taxi. Multiple handwriting experts rule out a match. Detective Toschi concludes that all the evidence against Allen turned out to be negative. On August 26, 1992, Arthur Leigh Allen dies of heart failure at his home in Vallejo. He is 58 years old. He has never been charged with anything related to the Zodiac case. He takes whatever he knew, or didn't know, to his grave. By 2009, the SFPD has investigated an estimated 2,500 Zodiac suspects. The case is marked inactive in 2004, reactivated in 2007. DNA genealogy attempted in 2018. Inconclusive. As of 2025, no new confirmed leads exist. The Zodiac case remains open. Here is what we are left with. 5 people dead. 7 confirmed victims in total. Two who survived to describe a figure that no composite sketch, no DNA sample, no lineup identification has ever definitively identified. More than 20 letters, 4 ciphers, 2 of them still locked. The Zodiac case is not unique because of the number of victims. Many serial killers have killed more. It is not unique because of the sophistication of the crimes. What makes it singular is this. He understood something almost no criminal before him had grasped so completely. The story was the weapon. Every letter was a performance. Every cipher was a provocation. Every piece of a dead man's shirt mailed in an envelope was a deliberate escalation, designed not to evade capture, but to ensure the story kept growing, kept spreading, kept dominating the front pages. He turned his own anonymity into a kind of power. The less anyone knew about him, the larger he became. And it worked. 57 years later, his crosshair symbol still appears on true crime merchandise. His case has inspired films, books, podcasts, documentary series, and thousands of amateur investigators who spend their free time studying ciphers on the internet. He may be dead. He may have spent decades in prison for unrelated crimes, never identified. He may have lived quietly, watched the manhunt for himself from a comfortable distance, and died peacefully in a bed somewhere in California. No one knows. He told us exactly one thing about himself, freely, willingly, in his own words. His name was the Zodiac. Everything else, every detail, every clue, every surviving cipher, he locked away so completely that we are still trying to find the key. This is the Zodiac speaking. And after all this time, we still don't know who was speaking.